This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 10 through 11, is that the Lord is going to deliver us from this captivity quickly, okay? We don't have much time here left, all right? I have a quick testimony, all right? And I was going to do another lesson, but I have to bring this out because really I want to talk about the war because it's getting spicy. Just real quickly, according to Iran, 7 U.S. Navy personnel killed, several injured in clash abroad. USS Abraham Lincoln. There was a fight that broke out, all right, due to the living conditions on this, okay, aircraft carrier, all right, and a couple people got put to death because, according to this article, all right, they were stabbing each other, all right, and they were trying to attack an officer, okay. So yeah, and this is Iran bringing it out, but hey, who are you going to believe? You can't believe mainstream media. Mainstream media has been lying, all right. They've been pushing out that Iran's weak, America won the war, America, what's it called? The Trump administration, right? The Strait of Hormuz is open, even though Iran said no, it's closed. All right, come through if you want and get and find out. All right, and all you're seeing is Iran constantly hitting any American interest vessels that make an attempt to go through the Strait of Hormuz. All right, they get hit and have to go back to where they came from. All right, they can't cross. And then you have, okay, the U.S. Abraham Lincoln just sitting, okay, far away from Iran so they don't get smacked up by ballistic missiles and drones. So it's clearly evident America's losing the war. All right, so, and the media's been lying to the American people, been fucking lying. All right, so I believe this story. This makes more sense. There's mutiny going on, motherfuckers shanking each other. All right, because the American military is collapsing, it's fracturing, and get ready for civil on war. This is how civil on wars start, when you see the military divided. All right, so this is what I wanted to talk about, but I got to go to a testimony. All right, that's why I said the Lord, and this is all signs that the Lord's coming quickly to deliver us from this captivity, because I have a testimony. Me and my wife, all right, we purchase, okay, organic food. I mean, we buy organic milk, okay, we buy fresh produce from potatoes, all right, to strawberries, all right, and we've been noticing that the food is going bad quickly, extremely quickly, all right. Testimony, the milk, I buy organic whole milk. I've been doing it for years, okay, and the organic whole milk, all right, would last me at least 2.5 to 3 weeks. Now I open it up, it doesn't even last a week. It spoils quickly. All right, that confirms, all right, that there's a problem with America's food supply, and I'm giving you my own testimony. All right, same thing with the strawberry. We buy strawberries, with not even a week, they already start to get moldy. Okay, potatoes, which in this article, okay, right here, potatoes, something that can be stored for months if properly done, come to my house from the supermarket and then start to go bad within a week. Yup, this is something me and my wife have been seeing now recently. All right. These are signs, man, that the Lord is plaguing Egypt. Okay, as before. And who's modern day Egypt? Who's spiritually Egypt? America, Babylon the Great, spiritual Egypt and Sodom. Okay, it's become hairy and flavorless. 15 groceries that have decayed since the FDA changed. And as an American, I miss what food used to taste like. They used to be one of my favorites, but now they're nasty, right? So people are complaining about the quality of the food, all right? And now all of a sudden, you're starting to see what? Okay, all these food-borne outbreaks because the quality of food is depleting, all right? There is a literal, okay, spoiling of the food. The food is rotting quickly. The food is sitting out, all right, on the pallet too long, all right, because of the logistical issues, all right, which in here I asked more people complaining that the food is spoiling and rotting quicker, okay. In America, you are not imagining things. Shoppers across the United States are increasingly complaining that fresh groceries are spoiling, molding, and rotting much faster in previous years, right? And this is something me and my wife are seeing, all right, as a testimony. We're seeing this now, which confirms, man, the Lord is plaguing Egypt, which confirms we don't have much time, man. All right, the Lord's speeding things up. We're almost out of here. There's going to be food riots, okay? People are going to fight each other for the lack of bread, okay? As it says, well, we got to get that because this is this in the same chapter, all right? Second Esdras chapter 15, because the scriptures got to come out, man. All right, I'm just giving a quick testimony. I'm seeing this with my own eyes. Milk, all right, that milk, man, that organic milk that I would buy from Publix, all right, the same one for years is going bad quickly, less than a week, man, all right, because I like to drink milk. That's just something I like to do. So that goes to show you, man, we're in a famine, man, all right. The Lord's plaguing this place, and famine is seeping in, okay. And people are going to start fighting each other over food. All right. So continue on. Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 13. Well, let me start at 10 again. Behold, my people is led as the flock to the slaughter. Right. Who are the Lord's people? The Israelites. Okay. We got it. We got to bring the repetition. Repetition is the father of skills. Who are the Lord's people? Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. This is why the Lord has us on the highways and byways, to tell our people to repent, all right? To change from your wicked ways. Stop worshiping idols. Stop calling on Jesus Christ. That's not his name, all right? So that's why the Lord has us out there, to cry aloud, spare not, tell you that you keep following these false idols, you keep engaging, okay, in this Babylonian behavior, you're going to die of starvation, okay, and that's what I'm focusing on, because the plagues are here, man. All right, if not starvation, being killed in civil unrest, okay, pestilence, all right, yeah. So hey, we here. So back. Just want to clarify who the Lord's people are. Hey, we're almost out of here, man. The times are speeding up. The Lord is shortening the times, man. All right. Food is going bad quickly. I'm giving you a testimony. I'm seeing it from my own very eyes. Behold, my people is led as the flock to the slaughter. 2 Esdras 15 and 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Right. And America is spiritually Egypt and Sodom. 11. But I will bring them with the mighty hand and stretched out arm. Right. Because Yahushua, a so-called black man, all right, along with the angels, they're coming, all right, to deliver us. That's why when you read in Matthew chapter 24, all right, real quickly, okay, because, no, I got to keep that, because man shall not live by bread alone. I will bring that out, Lord willing, okay, because, hey, the miracles are coming too, all right, if you believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Oh, by the way, I just back to the testimony while I look for the scripture. And that wasn't the first time me noticing that the milk was going bad. It's just now the spirit's on me to do it because it's happening more frequently because I purchased when I went to Costco. I just wanted to test out their milk supply because it said it was organic. We're trying to, get the best of the worst, because all the food is tainted, so we're trying to get the best food from this defiled bread, right? Those milks went bad the moment I opened them up within a week. But I thought it was because of Costco, and I was like, maybe because Costco is cutting corners. So I said, I got to go back to what I usually get, which is the whole milk, all right, from Publix, all right, organic. That went bad too. Matthew 24 and 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. That's spirit, because the Lord is shortening days. We got to get up out of here. All right, the food's going bad. Okay, I'm bearing witness. I'm giving you a testimony, and I'm a type of person that I'm all about facts. As you can see, all my lessons are about facts. I present credible news source. I don't say hearsay. I don't speak hearsay. I always bring out fact. That's just how I am. All right. Because every idle word, you make up some story, and it's not true, the Lord will get you. Matthew chapter 24, verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, right? And that's Yahushai, who the word inly calls Jesus, so-called black man. And then shall all the tribes of earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. See? So Yahushua is coming with the angels, all right? And what are they about to do? And they shall gather together his elect, right? The elect, whose elect? All right? The elect of the nation of Israel, okay? And that's lessons within lessons. Elect Israel, just typing it in. We're going to go back, okay? We're going to go back. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect. I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. Right? In the bulk of our people, all right, don't truly know the Lord. Okay? Truly. All right? That's why only the elect are going to be delivered from this destruction, from this captivity. The rest of our people are going to die here along with these heathens. All right? So, continuing on. Read this one more time. Matthew chapter 24, verse 31. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Right. So, hey, that's talking about, all right, the Lord, once again, in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, or destroy all the land thereof. Right. And these are the plagues, the food. The fucking food is going bad, all right? Okay? You got potato rotting quickly, strawberries, okay, are going bad, all right? Me and my wife, we like to buy things healthy, all right? We don't buy fucking, okay, frozen food. Hell no, all right? First of all, my wife comes from Bolivia, a third world country, born and raised, so all she knows is about making food from scratch, all right? That's a problem with you women here in America. You don't know how to make food from scratch, all right? That's why it's, you better fucking start learning, okay? Anyway, so the whole buying of frozen food, that's not in my household. Everything's done by scratch, and it saves money too. That's another thing. When you cook food from scratch, you save money, but now the food's going bad. That's why the Lord has to come, man. All right. Fruits and vegetables, lots of weird onions. Yup. I remember, and that was another thing because I bought onions. All right. And literally in less than a week, it started going bad. Yeah. And we were like, and then this is not something normal in America. Okay. If you're, when you go and buy groceries and stuff. So at first you're like, oh, we must have just bought a bad batch. It happens. Maybe something happened within the supply chains, all right, the supply chain, that there was a bad batch, all right? But this is now becoming frequent. If we don't cook this food quickly, it's going to go bad, okay? Which goes to show you, all right, that and I'm going to show you the complaining. that the food is sitting on the pallet. The food is not getting to the grocery stores on time. And this is what they're hiding. And that's why you're seeing all these foodborne illnesses running rampant. Tomato tastes tasteless and are so hard they can be used for bach balls. I'll eat rest heirlooms only. Right, because again, everything's going bad quickly. So yeah. Thought there was another one. Grapes, yep. What the hell happened to grapes? Yep, grapes. I just bought some seedless green grapes yesterday. I had to question whether I was losing my small smell or taste because they were not sweet or tart at all. Tasted like nothing, right? Okay. Garlic. Garlic's another thing. Garlic is becoming airy and flavorless in the past decade. It adds aromatics as best. In Japan, there was an explosion of flavor I could hardly handle alone. Right. I've noticed too because I purchase garlic daily on the all the time, and I've been noticing that the garlic does start growing its green stems. But I was reading into it that you can still eat it. You can still eat those green stems. All right, but those are signs that the garlic is ripening a lot quicker. Okay. So yeah. So now let's go to the complaints. More people complaining that the food is spoiling, rotting in America. You're not imagining things. Shoppers across the United States are increasingly complaining that fresh groceries are spoiling, molding, and rotting much faster than previous year. And that's a fact. I'm giving you a testimony. Okay? While it is frustrating to watch expensive food go bad days, right, that's how you know a civil war is going to happen. Because people are broke. And now they're buying food that's going bad quickly. All right? Whatever the little money they have. So this is how you know sedition. Which I gotta bring it out. Second Esdras chapter 15 verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right. Clearly, this is what happened over here in Iran. Reported by Iran. Okay. Iran reported that you got the U.S. military. Right. What did they do? All right. The advisor was reportedly booed at the discussion, and several crew members threw water bottles when he was speaking. After that, the situation escalated into a fight with the use of bladed weapons. So they were playing motherfucking what's it called? West Side Story. You ever seen that? That old movie West Side Story where they running around with the blade, they trying to stab each other, dancing around with the blade. Okay, yeah, man. Resulting in the deaths of 7 people and several injuries among others, the source added. Right, so you're seeing mutiny and sedition amongst the military, and that's how you know a civil war is coming. It's coming. You heard it here first at Great Millstone through the Spirit Power Yahweh Shem Shai. 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. All right. 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Yup. And we're coming to this point, man. Yo, when the food goes bad, people lose it, man. When there's no food, when there's a famine, because this is essentially a famine. This is a famine. If you can't eat, you're not going to eat spoiled food, man, because you're going to get sick. All right? And right now, Esau's trying to mask it with all these fucking big word medical illness problems. No, the food is going bad, and people are getting sick from eating poor quality food. That's what the fuck is happening. All right? So there's a famine seeping in. 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. You see that? And for great tribulation. All right, so let's keep going. So now we're going to get into what's happening here. While it's frustrating to watch expensive food go bad days after buying it, viral social media discussions, grocery workers, and supply chain experts point to several definite reasons for the rapid decay. Extended supply chains and warehouse lag. The fresh produce you buy at the supermarket is often not fresh at all due to complex agricultural logistics. Items like apples, onions, potatoes, again, I'm bear witness to this myself, are routinely held in climate controlled distribution warehouses for weeks or even months before hitting store shelves. By the time you purchase them, they are already at the tail end of their biological shelf life, right? Again, brothers and sisters, we're almost out of here. All right, the Lord is about to make a move. All right, miracles are coming. All right, the Lord is about to get us up out of here. We ain't got much time here. All right, erratic weather patterns. Oh yeah, what's going on with the weather? Okay, with the whether it be the extreme winters, like it says right here, erratic weather patterns, unseasonable warm winters, and severe summer heat waves have profoundly impacted farming states. For example, unseasonable high temperatures in major storage regions like Idaho or Oregon have caused crops like onions and potatoes to sprout and develop internal fungal or bacterial rot while still in storage. Now you know why people are getting sick, because the food is going bad quickly. It's happening. The Lord is plaguing America, Babylon the Great, which is spiritually Egypt and Sodom. When these compromised items reach your kitchen, they decay rapidly. Understaffed stores and poor inventory rotation. Many grocery chains face ongoing labor shortages and high employee turnover, right? The stress, all right? And people don't want to work anymore, man. And then you got the Northern Kingdom who do want to work, but ISIS chasing them around, okay, with electrocution gloves, all right? So this is why this is happening. See, Esau's a fucking idiot. The so-called white man is a fucking idiot. He's an idiot. But then again, he's the devil, all right? And he really, if you understand, okay, his thinking, he doesn't give a fuck. He's like, fuck it. There's too many people on the earth, so let them kill each other. And this is how how it's being set up. But at the end of the day, it's of the Lord, so prophecy can be fulfilled, and that wicked people can get their judgment. And that's a fact. Workers report that heavy workloads force stores to skip proper first in, first out inventory rotation. Instead of clearing out older stock, employees sometimes stack fresh produce directly on top of older, decaying items, passing the latent mold spores and accelerating spoilage directly to your groceries. Right, and I noticed that, okay, with the potatoes. I just bought these fucking potatoes, all right, and half of them were already growing mold spores. And the lemons, that's another thing. The lemons, I buy lemons as frequently as I can because drinking lemon water is very healthy, especially first thing in the morning. And that's been molding. So it's happening. Hey, the Lord is plaguing Egypt, which confirms that we're almost out of here. The scriptures say the evil has to happen before any good can come. Let me get this. All right, scripture's just flying right now, man. Because I'm excited, man. Because we're almost out of here. This is confirmation, and again, it's a testimony. I was going to go more into the war. I got a little bit in the war. They're shanking each other on the USS Abraham Lincoln. Oh, by the way, that's spiritual in itself. The USS Abraham Lincoln. What war happened during President U.S. Abraham Lincoln? What war? A civil war. Interesting. That's spiritual in itself. Okay, back to the scriptures. It's getting spicy, man. If you're not excited for prophecy, there's something wrong with you. That means you're okay with this place. You're going to die with this place. All right, we here at Great Millstone, through the Spirit and Power Yahweh Bashmi Shai, we are excited about prophecy. Okay? All right, so I know it's the 2nd Ezra chapter 4. Bear with me one moment. Okay? Where it talks about the evil has to come first in order for good to come after. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 28. But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. 29. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. You see that? All right, so, all right, it has to get bad in order for good to come. It has to get worse. So this has to happen. Famine, pestilence, foodborne, illnesses due to the rotting food. Okay? Yeah. Look what they wrote here. Shittier package and cost cutting. In response to inflation, major food manufacturers are utilizing lower quality, thinner packaging materials to preserve profit margins. Grocery store staff have noted that paper-thin cardboard boxes, lower grade cell phone wrappers, and weaker container seals allow extra air and moisture to seep into processed and packaged foods, dramatically reducing their shelf life. Right, again, the food is spoiling, man. This is a plague. Higher grocery prices create slow turnover. Because grocery costs have risen sharply, consumer buying habits have shifted. Shoppers are buying fewer high-priced organic items and the premium meats, causing these goods to sit unsold on shelves longer. This slower retail turnover means consumers are more likely to inadvertently purchase food that has already begun degrading under the grocery store lights. You see that? So we're in a famine, man. Okay? And we've been prophesying this. And it's happening right before your eyes. And we don't have much time to be on the highways and byways. The Lord is not going to keep us on the highways and byways much longer. So if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, all right, you are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. It's high time to wake up out of sleep. Repent and seek your power. The days of calling on Jesus Christ, right? If you're still calling on Jesus Christ in 2026, you are not going to make it. If you're still going to a harlot house, a plantation Christian harlot house, aka so-called church, in 2026, you're not going to make it. You're going to perish with this God-forsaken land. The Lord is done with this place. He's finished with it. Okay? America's losing on everything, man. He's just giving this place belt to ass. Luke chapter 21, verse 10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. You clearly see that. And Iran's whooping ass, man. All right? Look, this is another report from the Bloomberg. Iran's military pivots to offensive mode for next round of war. Right, so Iran's not going to wait to be attacked. Iran's going to do the attacking. And Iran just said, what did Iran say? Did Iran threaten the U.S. by cutting off the internet? Yep. An Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps official warned that global internet connected infrastructure and U.S. computer systems could be at risk if the U.S. resumes military strikes against Iran. State-linked media also previously floated proposal regarding undersea fiber optic cables in the Strait of Hormuz. And I'm looking forward to it. They need to cut the internet off, okay? They need to shut this shit down. Have these people in this country, okay, squirm without their little fucking social media and their YouTube, all right? And their fucking entertainment. I'm with it. I'm with this shit, man. Shut it down, man, all right? But again, famine war is coming because once they start attacking the communication system, because that's in war. War, okay, all right? You want to hit the communication system to cause confusion. And you want to have pressure from below to have the citizens get angry with their government. Okay, this is warfare. All right, pressure from below, pressure from above. All right. So yeah, so Iran, all right, is pivoting to the offensive mode, and part of their offensive mode is attacking, all right, the electrical grid, the communications system. All right, this is war. We're in war. Okay, people fucking playing games, talking about sports, and fucking the celebrities. What the fuck? Okay, let's see if they'll save your monkey ass. All right, so let's go back. I'm excited. All right, I'm excited, man. We're almost out of here. The Lord is speeding up the times, man. All right. So back to the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 11. And great earthquakes. Oh, all these earthquakes happening back to back, back to back. Look. Okay? Earthquakes. All right? We got earthquakes in Colombia, earthquakes in Philippines, Tonga, a 3.8 in California, a 5.5 near El Salvador. It looks like the Lord's about to whip El Salvador's ass any day now. Okay? Hawaii is getting hit with earthquakes. Japan, Chile. Well, they didn't go near Chile. Oh, Alaska, August 8th, Alaska. So come on, man. We here. Shall be in diverse places, and famines. Just clearly talking about famines. Again, testimony. And pestilences. Yup. Foodborne illnesses. Right? Due to the food rotting. That's what's happening. That's why all these diseases are popping up and these viruses. And fearful sights and great signs shall there be in heaven. Right. Okay, remember this? All right, the signs in heavens. The total solar eclipse. All right. This happened. And you're seeing things turning up, man. You got famine, wars and rumors of war, distress of nations, lawlessness abounding. Yup. Lawlessness abounding, man. Okay. Mothers killing their children, children killing their parents. Yeah. False prophets deceive many, right? A lot of these plantation Christians like Vocab Malone and a lot of these pseudo Hebrew Israelites like ISUPK. I didn't tell you to take the jab. I said go talk to your physician. You're obviously lying. You are a false prophet. Okay? And persecution of the saints, right? And this is coming, man. All right? Esau does not like that we're exposing, all right, that he's going down. He hates it. So, yeah. So, again, and that's why in verse 12, it says, right, but be before these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you to the synagogue and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sakes, right? Okay, and this happened before with our ancestors. Okay, it's going to happen again. All right. So yeah, hey, we're almost out of here, but the Lord's going to lift up the standard. All right. Not every Israelite is going to be beheaded. Real talk. All right. Spiritual powers is coming. Last one, but not the least. What did Yahushua say? In the book of Matthew chapter 4, verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High. Right. Okay. And this is what it's going to be boiled down to. This, your faith is about to be challenged. All right. When there's no food, all right, are you going to keep the faith? When you can't go to grocery stores, all right, are you going to keep the faith? Are you going to still believe in the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? All right, and hey, this is why you got to understand what you got yourself involved in. All right, because you have to trust in the Lord no matter what. All right, and if you've been reading the scriptures, the Lord always provided in a time of famine. In a time of famine, if you read the book of Kings, which this spirit, because we're reading the book of Kings, all right, Elijah was taken care of. Okay, he was able to eat in the midst of famine, all right, as well as Elisha, okay, prophets of the Lord, okay, all right, and we're able to feed those that believed, okay, in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that were able to believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay. That's what you got to believe in. You got to believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You got to call upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. If you're calling on Jesus Christ in the middle of a famine, you are going to starve to death and drop dead. Just throwing it out there. So, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Again, this was a testimony. I was going to go more into the word, which I did touch on through the spirit power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because it's all connected. Now everything's connected. Okay? But the point is, man, hey, I'm noticing myself. Me and my wife are noticing ourselves that the food is going bad quickly, which confirms that, hey, we don't got much time here. The Lord's about to come get us. All right? We're just waiting for that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. All right? There's going to be food riots. There's going to be civil unrest. So, hey, it's high time to wake up out of sleep. And with that, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Mukakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders as they get up in age. Continue to stay prayed up for their health and longevity, okay? And for the few sisters that are watching, keep studying. When you pray you're coming almost out of here, man. Stay locked in. This place is done, all right? It's what's the modern term? It's cooked, all right? It's a wrap, okay? Closed casket. This place is in the grave, man. It's done, all right? And with that, Shalom.